The portal dissolved, leaving Kalen adrift in an unfamiliar void. He found himself facing a swirling vortex of pure nothingness. From its depths, an ancient, bored eye emerged, the very source of the plea, the true emptiness the fragment had warned of. Kalen finally understood, the primordialized corruption wasn't about the echo, but about this primordial oblivion. And now, it had recognized him. The void pulsed, a silent, immense hunger radiating outwards. It was not a force of destruction, not in the way the echo was. It was a force of unmaking, of absolute nullification. The echo sought to reshape reality into its sterile image, the void sought to erase it entirely, reducing all to an eternal, perfect silence. Kalen felt a chilling dread, deeper than any fear he had ever known. The fragment's fading whispers echoed in his mind, a final, desperate warning. It consumes everything, no form, no light, only the end. The echo was a threat, yes, but this was the ultimate oblivion. It was the canvas from which all had been born, and now, it was ready to reclaim its own. The ancient eye, vast and impossibly ancient, fixed upon Kalen. It held no malice, no anger, only an infinite, cosmic weariness. It had seen stars ignite and die, civilizations rise and crumble, all with the same dispassionate gaze. But Kalen was new. A flicker of something the void had not encountered in eons. A spark of defiance, perhaps? Or merely a morsel of potential oblivion? He felt a pull, a gentle, inexorable tug towards the vortex. It was not a violent force, but a subtle beckoning, promising an end to all struggle, all pain, all existence. To surrender to it would be to cease being. To resist, that was the terrifying unknown. Suddenly, a fractured image flashed in Kalen's mind. It was the fragment, in its final moments, not of sacrifice, but of desperate transference. It was showing him something. A pathway? A weakness? A weapon? The fragment's essence, though fading, had left a residual imprint. A memory of a forgotten power, a resonance with the very fabric of creation that predated even the void itself. It was a whisper of the original spark, not as it was now, but as it had been before the fragmentation, before the echo, before the void's weary awakening. Kalen realized then. The primordialized corruption, its key, was not a defense against the echo, but a desperate attempt to awaken something that could counter this ultimate emptiness. It was a plea for a spark to reignite the embers of creation against the encroaching darkness. The ancient eye narrowed, its gaze intensifying. It had sensed Kalen's realization, his budding understanding of the forgotten power. The void was not merely observing anymore, it was beginning to act. The vortex churned, its nothingness threatening to expand, to engulf. Kalen grit his teeth. He could feel the tendrils of oblivion reaching for him, seeking to unravel his very being. He had to find the source of the fragment's final message, the distant plea for help. It was his only hope. But how to escape this primordial maw? As the vortex intensified, threatening to pull him in completely, a faint, shimmering light began to coalesce within the darkness. It was not born of the void, but seemed to push against it. A single, impossibly bright point, radiating a warmth that defied the absolute cold of the void. Could this be the answer? A counterforce? A nascent creation born from the very edge of oblivion? Suddenly, the ancient eye widened, not in boredom, but in something akin to surprise? Or perhaps, a flicker of something else, something Kalen couldn't decipher. The light intensified, pushing back the darkness, and Kalen felt a surge of potential. He was no longer adrift, he was being drawn towards this nascent light, away from the insatiable hunger of the void. But as he moved towards it, a new image burned into his mind. It was the echo, its cold, calculating awareness observing not the spark this time, but the void itself. And in its non-existent eyes, Kalen saw a chilling recognition. The echo wasn't just shaping reality, it was preparing for something far more ancient, far more terrifying. It was preparing to face the ultimate end, and it wanted Kalen to witness it. Then, with a final, violent lurch, Kalen was yanked through the light, leaving the ancient eye and the consuming void behind. He landed hard on, somewhere. The air was thick with a strange, metallic tang, and the sky above was a swirling tapestry of impossible colors. He had escaped the void, but where had he landed? And what was the echo preparing for? The questions hung heavy in the alien air, unanswered, as a chilling realization began to dawn. The true conflict was only just beginning, and it was a war for not just creation, but for existence itself.